get up and begin to pray and begin to praise him and begin to worship. That's why praise and worship is so important. Because a lot of times when you do praise and worship and you usher God in, the preacher don't have to do nothing. But open the door, he said, come on up, and really nothing. Because you laid out, you already know what you need to do. God already don't kill everything in you. Because that praise and worship, it don't did everything. So we got to be careful from now on, because you already heard it. It don't echo on every four corners of this room. And you can no longer sit there and act like you haven't heard it. You can no longer sit there and act like, I don't know what to do because it's too late. You can no longer sit on God because he's requiring more of us now. And I thank him. I really do. I thank him for everything that he's done. He don't flip my sermon all the way around. But I thank him. He's an awesome God. But I tell you, the second praise that we have is it increases our understanding of God. See, we go through the part where it's a focus on him, because we come through and we say, okay, God, you got me. I see you. I reverence you above all things. You're the only God. You're the only true God. And I thank you for everything that you've done in my life. I thank you for being an awesome God, a mighty God. And you, Lord God, I just look to you. I don't look to no other. And see, that's the place where we're focused on him. And then the understanding of God is the definition of understanding is to know how someone thinks and feels and behave. But we'll look at a man or a woman once again, and we'll understand how they feel and how they think, but we won't even tap into how God feels.
Come on, teach us.
We won't even tap into what God is saying to us. We don't want to hear it. But God is saying, I'm speaking to a lot of you. He is. He's speaking to us. And he's saying, I got my eyes on you, but can you see me?
Come on.
We don't even see him.
My God.
We don't even feel him. Because we don't want no part of him, is what we're telling God, really. When we don't do these things, we're saying, Lord, I don't know you. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. But we'll go out into the world and we'll love the things of the world, and the world abuses us.
Jesus.
But we love it.
Yes, they do.
So we got to get to a place where you got to trust God and reverence him in all things. So let's turn to Mark 12 and 33. Mark 12 and 33 says, he says, when Jesus saw that he had answered, I go back up to 30. Let me go back to 29. The most important one answered Jesus is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. And he said, with all your strength. And then he says, the second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Then he says, and the guy, he said, well said, teacher. The man replied, you are right in saying that God is one and there is no other but him. To love him with all your heart and with all understanding, with all your understanding, that with everything in you is your understanding. Love him with all that, and he said, in your strength. And the Lord God, he said, and love your neighbor as yourself. See, we got to love our neighbor. We got to love those that don't love us. We got to love those that despisefully use us. We got to love those that hate us.
Come on.
And you got to love those back that love you.
Come on.
So that's an important thing. You see, God knew when he said these two commandments, because he said the greatest of these two. We can't get past these two.
Jesus.
We can't get past those. We can't really get past the first one. Because if we can do harm to our neighbors, and we just sit up in church and talk about one another, I hate somebody in church, we don't love the first one, which is loving God with all our heart, soul, and mind. And then we don't love ourselves. Because we have to look in the mirror every day and tell yourself that you're beautiful.
That's it.
And that you're wonderfully made. That you're a child of the Most High God. And I always say I'm a queen.
Come on.
And I'm going to have everything the kingdom has for me.
That's it.
Because I'm not going to allow myself to be poor. I'm not going to allow myself not to have the blessings that God has in store for me. And I'm walking in that place because when he walked me out of Egypt, and I thank him. And see, the same thing with the Egyptians, the Israelites, when they walked, when Pharaoh would run behind them, and God had Moses throw the staff out, and he parted the Red Sea, and they walked across on dry land, and they saw this. These are people that witnessed seeing the Red Sea part. We haven't seen it and it's that we have to believe. But they saw this. But when they got on the other side, oh, they were praising God and they were loving God. And then all of a sudden, fire went out. They stopped loving God. They got into a place where they started murmuring and complaining. And that's what we do. We'll love him as long as he's doing something for us.
Come on, teach us.
We'll love him as long as our bills being paid. We'll love him as long as we can do the things that we want to do. But the minute things start going chaotic in our life, we forget about him. And then we get to murmuring and we get to complaining. Because ouch, I used to do it all the time. In my job, I don't want to be here. This job ain't no good. But I stayed there 28 years faithfully. And so we have to know that we have to get to a place and say, okay, God, what do you have for my life?
That's it.
What do you have for me to do? And in that place, if he tell you, I want you to stay there and pray for those people. I want you to stay there and teach the people something about me. You got to do it.
That's it.
And we got to do it. I learned not to murmur and complain. I learned to do it regardless of how I felt. And sometimes I didn't want to be there because I was there on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day. But I thank him because he picked me up. He said, "You can ready to come on out of Egypt," and I'm so grateful. And I don't want to be one to go back. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. But the people came out of Egypt with plenty.
Sure did.
They came out with lots of stuff.
Oh.
Then they come out with empty-handed, and he didn't bring me out empty-handed. And I'm thankful. Yes, I'm thankful. He didn't bring me out empty-handed. I thank him. He's an awesome God. And I trust him because he gave me another level of trust.
Yes.
And I'm going to stay in that place with him.
Yes.
Because it's more stuff God got for me.
Come on.
I got a husband coming.
Come on.
I'm bragging on it because I do. I got me a new car coming.
Come on here.
You know, we gotta know and see the things and signs and wonders. I got a new job coming.
Come on.
And see, we got to look at those things and say, we have to talk those things in existence.
Yeah.
And